when you say like, a lot of people like you, I hear that and I'm like, because I like them first.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to get like, do you know how many people on the internet are faking a lifestyle so that people pay them?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
To
The
get
whole
that,
internet.
Like, the whole internet.
Yeah.
Like the whole internet right now is faking a lifestyle and then trying to sell people on like, I figured out this lifestyle, you can too, when they didn't figure out that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And their business is to make money off you.
Of course.
Whether that's selling a course or selling a product.
Yeah. I'm curious what that correction will be. There's always a correction. What's that correction?
When the economy fucking fails and people look around and be like, yo, where's the money?
Yeah.
Everybody under 30 hasn't been punched in the face yet.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Like unless you lived through that 2008, like, which is now a decade ago, you haven't been punched in the mouth.
Yeah.
And until you're punched in the mouth, you actually don't know how tough you are.
True.
I just tweeted something that just went kind of batshit crazy. It went something like, yo, if you're 22 years old and your parents pay for any part of your lifestyle, let me define that real quick.
Yeah.
If your parents pay for your Uber, if your parents pay for your gym, if they're splitting the rent with you, if they pay for your fucking shit in any way, does your mommy and daddy give you $1?
Yeah.
If they do, and you talk shit about them to your friends that they're not giving you more, you're the biggest piece of shit of all time. So I put that out there, right? And so it's getting crazy right now. And some people are coming through. They're like, yo, this is the thing I'm most embarrassed about. And I'm like, yo, change.
Yeah.
I'm like, good. First of all, you're amazing. Because a lot of people are seeing that and saying, fuck you, Garyvee.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Good. You're like, yes, that's me.
Yeah.
Change. Like, is it going to be fun that you maybe can't wear a pair of Yeezys as often as you want?
Yeah.
Is it fun that you can't take out your girl to, the fanciest fucking spot? Is it fun that, like, you want the new LeBrons or you want better tickets to the fucking playoff game or you want to get a bottle at the club? Like, is it fun that you can't? No.
Yeah.
But is it way better and putting you in a position to succeed long term? Absolutely. Because when you're living in a fake environment, and that's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm getting most passionate about is fake environments.
Yeah.
Too much money in the system, fake environment. Influence getting paid for everything, like chick. Like that is an inflated market that will eventually have to correct.
Yeah.
But the number one fake environment in our society is you think you're a big shot, but your parents are actually paying for it.
Yeah. Okay,
I fucking hate those people.
So let me ask you what is this, because this is the lesson I'm kind of gathering from that. And tell
actually,
me
real quick, because I need clarity.
Yeah.
I don't hate those people. I hate those people if they talk shit, make pretend they're not getting paid for, or talk shit about their parents. If you walk around like, yo, my parents are the fucking best, and I'm actually I'm really entitled, but like, fuck it, this is my life. If you own your shit, I love you.
Yeah.
The story that most people don't know about me is I built that business from 3 to 60 and left with nothing.
Mm-hmm. And why?
Because it was my parents' business.
So you just didn't care. There was no.
I care. Like, I don't want to front.
Yeah.
Like, it feels a little weird.
Yeah.
Like, you live, first of all, I gave up my 20s.
But the day you left, you didn't say like, hey, guys,
I was ready. I knew what was about to come next.
You didn't want $1.
I had no leverage. Like, I wasn't going to roll up on Pops and be like, yo, count me in now.
I would have rolled up on Pops.
The time to roll up on Pops was in the beginning.
Yeah.
But I'm an immigrant. Yeah. Like, when you're a white immigrant, people don't really know you're an immigrant. I'm an immigrant. I wasn't born here. And like, here's family immigrant businesses. We have a business, whether it's a bodega or a liquor store or a 7-Eleven or a car wash or whatever the fuck it is. We have a business and it's mom and dad's until they die. And then you get the business.
Yeah.
That's the rules, everybody. And so, but honestly, that worked for me because to be very frank, my number one reason of going into the family business was I wanted to put them on the way they put me on. Yeah. I didn't even want to owe fucking favors to my parents.
Yeah.
This is why I get so crazy about the entitlement shit.
Yeah.
I went the other way.
Yeah.
I wanted to settle the score with my parents for putting a roof over my head and taking me to America from bullshit fucking Belarus.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me just fucking explode this for them. That's how it evolved.
And your relationship with them is good and has always been good, right?
Yeah, but I would say, and back to not fronting, there was tension between me and my pops because a couple things happened. One, I'm building this huge business and it's not mine.
Yep.
That's weird. And I would argue that when I got into my late 20s and early 30s, that started to weigh on me a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Two, I started getting a lot of fame in the liquor business, like WizKid, and my dad, and everyone's like, Gary's store, and that started fucking with my dad. He's like, yo, first of all, it's my store.
Really?
Second of all, like, yo, I came here with nothing and like did something. Like, what happened to my part of the story? Because it became WizKid does this and WizKid, it wasn't like it is now with the whole where I've really kind of gotten some awareness. It was in this little industry,
but
in that, how it is, right?
That's your world.
Your little, you just beat me to it. It's your fucking world.
Yeah.
And so like 80-year-old dudes are rolling up at my pops and be like, man, your kid really put you on.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you got it. And my dad's got too much pride for that. I mean, if anybody ever rolls up up on me in my life and says my kids put me on, I'm gonna punch that person in the face.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't play for me. And my dad and I share a lot of competitive DNA. So luckily I had a lot of empathy for my dad and understood like, yeah, I wouldn't like that either. So I was able to always kind of, you know, swallow my pride at times. And then ultimately, like my brother was graduating college. I knew I was gonna start a business with him. I made a really smart move and took the money I had saved. And, you know, one of the things I did really well was I lived humble as fuck. I lived in a fucking 1-bedroom apartment in Springfield, New Jersey. Didn't cost much. I didn't get fancy, moved to New York. I never went out. So really easy to like save money when you don't spend $1,000 on a weekend hitting it hard. And I saved. I didn't have a lot of money, but everything I had, I bet on Facebook and Twitter. This is why I believe people can win. I wasn't making a lot of money. I was building a business for somebody else. I just lived humbly. Like everybody wants a, some kid just tweeted, I put out that tweet. Somebody else was like, yeah. Other kids like, easy for you guys to say. It was so much easier in the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Of course.
I'm like, you're a fucking loser, dick. We didn't have internet. The fuck do you know about the 70s, 80s, and 90s? You fucking suck, bitch. Like it's not easier. You're just lazy and entitled because mommy and daddy did everything for you. And you think life's about playing fucking Xbox and smoking weed and fucking drinking Mountain Dew, you fucking asshole. Go work.
Let me ask you this: what did you?
So pissed.
I love it. I love it.
I'm bringing the collateral from the tweet I just saw. Everybody who's listening, I'm sorry. 16 minutes ago, I saw that tweet. I'm like, this kid literally thinks the 70s, 80s, and 90s was harder.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? The internet's the best. Every fucker listening right now can go to Alibaba, buy some bulk shit, flip it on Amazon and eBay, and make money. Every dick listening right now has $1,000 worth of fucking shit in their home that they'll never use again. Do you understand if you put that dartboard on eBay, you'd get $7?
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, I'm not the one in your tweets.
I get it. Biggest reason a lot of people don't like me at first is I'm poking at the thing they don't want anybody to know about.
And then it's like, fuck you, dude.
100%.
You know how hard it is?
Yeah. And I'm like, I do, but like you dwelling and blaming your parents, your neighborhood, society, the government, it's not going to do anything for you. Complaining and entitlement is just like it's poison. And so for me, it's like, and this is why I get the best. I get fucking DMs that make my head spin.
Oh,
like,
I'm sure.
Yo, bro, like shit like this. Yo, bro. So yeah, I was hitting my girl before I started watching your shit, and you've made me a better man, and I don't do that no more, and I make money the right way. Like
you respond to that?
Yeah, I'm like, all right, first of all, like, cool, let's never hit your girl again. 2, like, awesome. And 3, like, don't get flashy now. Just because you made your first $1,000 flipping something on Craigslist. By the way, do you know how much money I've made for people telling them to go to Craigslist, get shit for free, and then flip it?
Wasn't that kind of the first big thing that really broke through to like the masses?
It was, you know what it was? It wasn't that. I will say this. I was on The Breakfast Club.
Yeah, I remember that.
And Envy came at me. And he was like, yo, whatever. Like stop being like, stop motivating me.
That.
Give me something of tangible. And I was like, oh, fuck. You know, because like, you know, like I was like, he came at me. I'm like, your brain goes fast. And I'm like, well, the most tangible thing I know, the thing if I went to zero tomorrow, coma, my face got ripped off. I have a new face. I'm in Alaska. Like, what the fuck just happened? Is this a nightmare? No, this is my new life. Cool. I don't complain. And the first thing I do is like, I find shit to flip. Like the number one thing that gets everybody out of zero is selling something. And I think like everybody wants to build like the next Off-White. And I'm like, yo, before you get to the next Off-White, before you tell me that you're fucking, you know, gonna be the next fucking champion, why don't you learn how to go to Goodwill, buy some t-shirts for $1 and sell them for $11 and get your shit together? Because in your email, you also said that you have $17 and you want me to give you $10,000.
But that thing just caught, right? That Breakfast Club clip was just
caught.
Like,
I'm incapable of being anything else. I got lucky. I hate the word luck, but like I'm living through a time where entrepreneurship is cool. Like if you're a businessman in 1974, like, you know, the Knicks players don't think you're cool. Like, you know, in 1983, like Russell Simmons doesn't think like the CEO of IBM is the fucking shit. You know, like that's just not how it was. So what's been really crazy for me is like, I lived a life. I was 30 years old. Like I was 34 years old before I made one business video in my life. So I'd already built a business. My family's liquor store business. Like I lived a life. I was 34. I lived a life before all this shit started happening. And just watching entrepreneurship be put on a pedestal is exciting and also scary. I will tell you that one of the number one fears I have is too many kids want to be an entrepreneur even though they're not.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and that's what's interesting is because like I think that entrepreneurship is having a moment, and also you're like directly out in front of it. You know what I mean? Like it's having a moment and you are the guy. You know what I mean? Do you know how many meetings I go into now and everyone now has a camera guy?
Oh yeah.
And that's literally 100% I think influenced by what you're doing. But my question is, so obviously that's cool, and that's the discussion that a lot of people have on this podcast is like, yeah, everyone's an entrepreneur now. And I say, I think that the good news is there will be more real entrepreneurs out of this, right? There's just going to be a lot of fakers.
To your point,
Yeah.
There are thousands, tens of thousands, and I would argue hundreds of thousands and maybe even millions who during this era find entrepreneurship, the freedoms that come with it, the beauty of it, that wouldn't have 20 years ago because they would have been executives. What I'm worried about is the collateral damage.
What do you think happens to the person that's caught in the crossfire?
I think there's some people that commit suicide.
Yeah.
I think there's some people that, you have to understand why I say that. Depression, because you can't hide.
Yeah.
Like when your t-shirt business fails because the economy fails and influencers don't get paid like that anymore and shit hits the fan and you go work at Citibank, your family and friends know that you, and don't forget, you're the one who, you know, like all this
is in your bio.
Yeah, man, this is super documented.
Yeah.
Like you're talking shit 26 months ago in front of a Lambo, and now you work at Chick-fil-A corporate.
Yeah.
And that's going to be something that's going to take a lot of self-esteem and humility to get through. And most people haven't been raised with self-esteem and humility. So the reason I'm talking this game is not to be like, I'm cool and you're not. It's like, yo, you know what's fucking cool? Self-awareness.
Yeah.
You know what the fucking coolest shit in the game is? Forget like fresh sneakers and forget like a hoodie and forget about money and forget about being a cryptocurrency fucking winner. You know what's the fucking coolest? Self-awareness.
Yeah.
Do you know yourself? And then do you put yourself in the best position to succeed?